Hello, my name is Michael Evans. This is Garden Boards. So it's a new year. We're going to try something new. We're actually going to do a top 10 of my favorite 10 games that I've played so far. There's going to be a few games on, not on here like Blood Rage and stuff like that are really good games, but I haven't had enough plays through them to, put them in my top 10. It's just hard to get them, get into the table because it's kind of been intimidating for a lot of people. Other ones, newer ones that I haven't had a chance to play through enough to get liking to, but there's, like I say, these are the ones that I've played a fair bit and that I really like. Now, I really like Deck Builders. This one is a new one. It's kind of silly. Vikings Gone Wild. This is my number 10. Basically, you are a clan of Vikings. You have your town hall, you're building up your town, you're buying defenses, you're buying units, soldiers to fight for you so you can take out the other villages. Very fun, very silly. There's not a lot of randomness. Just Vikings Gone Wild. A great game. Highly recommend. This is my 10 out. My 8 through 13 could probably all get mixed together, sort of thing. But right now, this is my top 10. That's my number 10 is Vikings Gone Wild. Now, my number 9, it's a Patchwork. It's a game about making a quilt, but it's a lot more fun than it sounds. Most people I played with it really love it. Anyone who hasn't loved it, at least like it enough to play it again. Very good if you think in patterns. I tend to think more in patterns than anything else. So, like I say, I tend to have a really good go at this. I don't think I've lost this yet. I may have lost one game to my wife, but not that many. Now, my number 8, I cannot find. It's somewhere in the basement where I keep my games, and I cannot find it at the moment. And that is Pixel Glory. Now, Pixel Glory is basically, it starts out with bidding, where you're bidding for your spells, and then you go into it, take your spells, go into the dungeon, try to defeat as many of the monsters as you can, getting as much glory as possible. When I got it, I thought, oh, this is going to be a cute game, but I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was going to like it, but I figured we play it a few times, get a few plays out of it. I love it. It's also one of the first games I think my wife actually said, I think I want to play that Pixel Glory. She actually said, out of the blue, like, I want to play that game. So that tells you something about the game. It's like I say, a lot of people have complained about it. It's not. Some people say there's not a lot to it. I love it. I think it's just like the bidding at the beginning. It gives you some, like I say, gets you all set up for the adventure. It's not just you're not just sort of thrown into the dungeon and you're going in. You're getting prepared. So it's almost like it's hard to explain, but it's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be, and I'm really glad I got it. So I don't have the box for the box in front of me, so I'll have a picture right over there. But yes, my number 8 is Pixel Glory. Really fun game. My number 7 game, which only really works in certain circumstances, like if you have a bunch of friends over, if you're at a convention or something like that, is Cash and Guns. This is a lot of fun. There's a lot of player elimination, but it goes so quickly. That's fine. I've played in games where I point at one person, look over, realize I'm pointing at one person, everyone else is pointing at me, and like, and just push my guy over to show that I'm out of this round. You're basically, it's after a heist. You are trying to negotiate vigorously your cut of the loot. So everyone, has cards that say click or bang. They choose one. Well, at the count of 3, everyone points at someone around the table. Then you have to decide if you're in or out. If you're in and someone's pointing at you, you make a shot. If you get shot, you take damage and don't get any loot. If you're out, you don't get loot at all. So, and if you get shot 3 times, you're out of the game. It lasts for 8 rounds. It's not a bad game. Like I say, everyone who's played it had a good time. It's great for conventions. It's great for, if you're in a group of people that, don't really know each other that well. You learn who you can trust and who you can't very quickly. My number 6 I get everyone to play it by saying, "There's a cute little panda in it." I tell people about it, like say you're trying to grow bamboo, you're trying to do this, and it's like, oh, I don't know, there's a cute little panda in it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play. And that's of course Takanaku, and so you're like setting up a garden, growing it, trying to grow it in the right proportions, and of course, this is the selling point, the panda. Everyone I've played with, like, I don't know. And like, there's a cute little panda in it. Like, okay, let's play this. So, this is a lot of fun. I love it. My wife loves it. Her best friend loves it. Takanaku is a great game. Number 5 is another new one. Like I say, I backed it on Kickstarter, thinking, okay, that looks interesting. Like, oh my god, I can't believe how much fun this is. This is pretty much the reverse pandemic. Rather than being people trying to wipe out a disease, you're a disease trying to wipe out the human race. I've never had so much fun wiping out the human race. Like I say, like this is an amazingly fun game. I can't, like I say, you're a disease. You're trying to, evolve yourself to be more deadly, to spread more quickly. You're trying to spread across as many and wipe out as many countries as possible. It's a great game. Although it's one of those games that's hard not to sound. It's hard not to sound racist out of context. So you gotta be careful with that, I suppose. But fun game. My number 4 game is probably my wife's number 1 game. Pandemic. My wife really loves it. She bought this for me. One day I was like in the hospital for a little while and seeing an appropriate game to pick up. We started playing it. We love this game. Now, it is better with some of the expansions like On the Brink or Hinterlands. All of the expansions are modular from bits and pieces like mutations and advanced epidemics from like On the Brink and just the extra places you can go in the Hinterlands. They add a lot to this game. Even the base game is great. Love Pandemic. Now, when I was considering doing a top 10, the top 3 came to my mind instantly. There's no doubt about these ones for me. Now, originally when I started getting into board games, my 3rd place would have gone to King of Tokyo. That game has been replaced for me by my number 3 now. That is Tiny Epic Galaxies. Very different from King of Tokyo, but like I said, I feel it just sort of, it takes the place of it. Basically what it is, you have a space colony and you're trying to go colonize more planets. You're trying to get your galactic empire as high as possible through technology and stuff, and politics and stuff. You're going out colonizing other planets, trying to utilize powers of other planets to help defeat your foes. A lot of fun. It's got that Yahtzee mechanism with the dice, because you're using dice to do all the stuff. The various faces do various things. This is an amazing game. I got this in a Box of the Month Club thing. I did get the expansion Beyond the Black, which is really good, but I haven't played that a lot because I play a lot with my wife and she'd rather just play the base game because the base game is that good. It doesn't really need anything added yet, so we haven't got bored of the base game yet, so we don't play a lot of the expansion. But the Beyond the Black is a good expansion. Now, my number 2 game, I explained it to my wife as it's basically playing a B movie. It's a B movie in a box, and she's like, next. But her best friend and husband has been joining us, and he wanted to play this too. So basically, we ganged up on them and got them to play, and even they really enjoy it. And that is Trail and House on the Hill. Now, basically what you're doing is going around, you're building up the house as you're exploring the house, you're adding on rooms onto it as you go, and then at some point about halfway through, the game's going to switch over, and one of you is going to end up being a traitor. Sometimes people don't always realize when they're the traitor or not. Now, the game can get glitchy. There's some fiddly parts to it, But oh my god, this is so much fun. This is one of those games where you are going to have stories to tell about the game afterward. Like, I remember one time I was playing with friends of mine, and one of them got this card. Is basically, you look into the mirror and it's you see your image in the mirror, but it's not in sync, and it ends up right in the mirror. This will help, and it hands you something to the mirror, and you take the card out of the item deck, and they got this said item. So they only have one item. Later on, they got another event which says you look into the mirror and you see your own reflection, but it's out of sync. So you write on the mirror, this will help, and you hand something through the mirror. She only had the one thing, so she handed that same item to herself again. So basically what you do, you put it in and you put it back shuffle it back in the deck. So basically we all made the joke about a time loop. I still have friends going on about that to this day, and I still tell that story. So like I say, Betrayal at the House on the Hill, this is my second favorite game, just because of those little stories, those little, and it's a B movie in a box. Like I say, you can't get more B movie than that, because things are changing, not everything makes sense, but at the end you all have great stories to tell. Now my top game, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it several times, so if you've watched the show a few times, you'll probably guess it. I'm lumping it all into one. I'm talking about the Arcadia Quest system. Arcadia Quest, Arcadia Quest Inferno, Arcadia Quest Pets as well. Not as huge a fan of Beyond the Grave, but even that's a lot of fun. But this was probably my first game that got me into board games. I got really seriously. I backed Mesmora on Kickstarter, and I seen it was based off the game Arcadia Quest. And I thought, oh, that looks cool. So I went on Amazon and spent $100 on it. And my wife and I were going to play the first game. We were setting into the South, and I'm thinking, oh my god, my wife's going to kill me, because there's no way we're going to go through this setup again. We're probably only going to play this one time. She was thinking, I'm going to kill him, because there's no way I'm going through this again, and he wasted $100 on this. Went through this first scenario. As soon as we're done, I'm like, do you want to play the next one? And my wife was like, yes! And so we played through like 3 or 4 scenarios the first night. And the only reason we even stopped was because we knew we had to get up in the morning for work. Got home from work and finish off the campaign the next night. This game is a lot of fun. We play it in a rather friendly version when my wife and I play. We don't do the kill the guild members quest. We don't do that at all when we're playing 2 players. We only do the PvE quests. Also, most of the time, so sometimes I don't do this, and I really should have, but there's been a few times I didn't. But most of the times, we wait till at least the other person gets at least 1 quest before we finish the second quest to end the scenario. That is a lot of fun. If you're playing with 3 or 4 people, you have to do a PvP quest where you got to kill at least 1 member of another guild. Now, us here at Cards and Boards, when we play, me, Richard, and Player X, we have this house rule. You cannot kill a member of another guild until you do at least 1 PvE quest, which I have a tendency of breaking. Usually because I actually forgot and thought, okay, someone must have done a quest already, a PvE quest already. I can't take it anymore, and then start attacking everyone. Once you start PvP, that's what you're concentrating on most of the game, I find. There have been times we did PvP, the PvPs, and like I say, we're so busy going after each other. Someone does actually finish one of the PvE quests, and have completed 3 of the 3 quests, and we're going on like 5-6 rounds after that. Until someone goes, wait a second, he's completed 3 quests. We should have stopped like 10-15 minutes ago. Like, oh, wow. Because we're so busy beating on each other, we're not actually paying attention to what quests we're doing. And so like I say, so this is a lot of fun. If you're playing 2 players, you can play nice. If you're playing 3 or more players, you're gonna probably, especially the first few times you're playing, you're probably gonna forget all about the quest and just be concentrating on beating on each other. Now, like I say, if Richard Hovey did his list, I think he'd have his 1 and 2 be similar to mine, but they'd be in reverse. But like I say, Arcadia Quest and Trail in the House on the Hill and Tiny Epic Galaxies were the first games that came to my that come to my mind when I think what are my favorite games. Let me know. So that's it for my list. Let me know what you think. What are your favorite games? Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with any of my picks? Do you really disagree with some things that it was a horrible game and you don't like it at all? Let us know in comment. If you want to see the other ones do top 10 games, well, if you want to see Richard Hovey do top 10 games, because the other ones don't really have top 10 games, they just sort of play them and leave them. Richard Hovey and I tend to play them a lot more with other people. So if you want to see him do a top 10, let us know, and I'll make him do one. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. This has been Cards Aboard. Have a good evening.